for you to not only become a customer, but to contribute and to also become a co-owner if that's what you're interested in doing. Tonight, these 4 businesses will not only compete for those things, but compete for different prizes. The first prize is $2,000 in cash. The second is $2,000 in in-kind services from the Entrepreneur Center. And the third is, $1,000 cash prize too. Sorry about that. In community from your vote. So that's why we're doing this. Tonight, we need you guys to pay attention, make sure you actually listen and vote for your favorite business. Up next, I'll be introducing Amaha Selassie, who is the executive director of the Co-op Dayton and the president of the Gem City Market Board. Thank you.
Yeah, each team tonight represents something that we need in our community to build our solidarity economy. This is the essence of what asset-based community development is, how we leverage the gifts and talents in our community towards self-determining the community that we want to work, live, and play in, and building an economy that represents our interests and needs. Tonight, we want to thank our sponsors, including the IEU CWA, International Labor Union, the Entrepreneur Center, CareSource, Henny Penny, Able, Advocates for Basic Legal Equality, Jason Weiner PC, a public benefit corporation, and of course, what's the biz with Tejo? And we want to give a special shout out to our title sponsor, Right Pack Credit Union. We're especially excited to have the sponsorship again with Right Pack Credit Union, the larger cooperative in the region, and they've done amazing things for our community over the years. So we want to thank you. And like the Gem City Market, the credit union is owned by its members and account holders whose benefits financially from lower fees and higher dividends. And now I want to introduce Tracy Spicer-Force, the Vice President of Marketing and Business Development for Right Pack Credit Union.
So thank you. My name is Tracy Sarzy-Force, and I am with Right Pack Credit Union. I brought some notes. I know technology sometimes is wonky, and it's been a while since I've done this, so I wanted to make sure that I really highlighted why tonight is really important. So kind of bear with me. It looks a lot longer than it really is. So first of all, thank you to Pitch Night and to Dayton Co-op for having us. We're really excited to be here and to be a part of this initiative. It's really very important why cooperatives are here and why we need more cooperatives. So when we talked about your vote and really getting out there, please, please, please do take this very seriously and pay attention. So I'm not sure if many of you know, but the actual first cooperative started in 1752 with Benjamin Franklin. So that's 270 years ago. And there are 29,000 cooperatives in the whole entire country. And they range from healthcare to housing to finances. And it's kind of interesting to me that many people don't understand what cooperatives are, knowing that we've gone back 270 years. So with that in mind, I think that's why this is really important. And to highlight a couple of the principles of cooperatives, which is voluntary open membership, it's democratically based, and it's also based on participation. And people that are part of a cooperative, they benefit because of that participation. I think that that's really extremely important. Along with that, there is a social aspect to this. So there's a benefit financially for cooperatives. But most importantly, when you're within a community and you all have the same things in common, there's that social network, and part of that social network really creates that common bond, and that's what builds community. And that's why tonight I think is really critically important to help other people-centric, people-centered businesses with these co-ops really take off. And that's the nature of what we're doing. So it's more than just giving those earnings back to the patrons of a cooperative. It's really strengthening the community so that more residents can thrive where they live, they work, and they play. So on that note, I'd like to just say a couple things about Wright Pat Credit Union. Number one, we've been around since the 1930s, and we started at Wright Field at the base. Basically, we started in a shoebox, and the story goes that there was a local factory worker that was working at Wright Field, and he became sick and his family didn't have any money. So the local workers thought it would be a good idea to pitch in a quarter from their paycheck to help the sick family, and they kept it in a shoebox. They called it the Sunshine Community Fund. With that, when the worker came back, he paid that money back with a little bit of interest. And it worked out so well that they decided to continue to do that, and they kept it in the nurse's office. And in essence, that's what Wright Pat Credit Union, that's how we formed. And the interesting part, we have about 440,000 members, 7 billion in assets. So the numbers are good, but what's most important about all of this is the mission. And the mission has always been to help people through life, and that is continuing to this day. And so I think that that's why tonight is so incredibly important, is that that is extending within our community of making sure that we're strengthening our communities through co-ops, through the social network. And so we're very proud of those that are participating tonight. Your creativity, I think, is awesome, and your fortitude is awesome. So good luck to everybody. And thank you for putting this together and making Wright Pat Credit Union a part of it.
Thank you, Tracy. So thank you guys again for joining. Please make sure you watch each video and vote. So let's talk about tonight's format. Tonight we'll watch each team's pitch, and then the judge will ask them questions. Our judges are Kiana Daniels from Parallax Advanced Research. She's the project manager. Robbie Brandon from Sunlight Village CEO. She's a founder. Jennifer Leem, Henny Penny Director of Wellbeing. Eric Bugger, Wright Pat Credit Union Chief Lending Officer. And Heather Corbin, Wright Pat Credit Union Member Business Services Manager. So let's welcome them with a virtual round of applause. I'm gonna pretend like I can hear you guys. Great. So again, our prizes are $2,000 in cash, $2,000 in in-kind services from the Entrepreneur Center. Thank you so much. $1,000 in cash to the team with the most community votes. So if you registered, you'll receive an email with the link to vote at 7 p.m. That's right after this. Vote by October 31st, 11:55 p.m. First up is Unified Power. Unified Power is a Black-led community land trust and real estate investment cooperative working to spur development in West Dayton, ensuring that homes and commercial properties remain permanently affordable. Give them a round of applause.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kenya Baker. I'm the Executive Director for Unified Power, and I'm also the Board President. I have with me Ebony Hastings, who's one of our board members. Thank you all for this opportunity, and we'll get started. Unified Power. My work with the Unified Power Project is significant because my grandmother was 100% Sapani Indian. And Unified Power is about community control of land. So here's my presentation. And I hope that you all will have a better understanding of Unified Power. We're going to talk about the problem. So the problem and the reason why we believe it's important to develop a real estate investment cooperative and community land trust is redlining. And I have a clip to help you to understand redlining that I would like for you to see. It's a historic clip from a series called Them.
Chicago, Baltimore, Lansing,
Oakland, Seattle.
now that was foresight. Move just one Black family into a decent white neighborhood, and the other homeowners will throw money at you faster than you can count it.
Negroes aren't stupid. Given a choice, even they don't want to live among other Negroes.
Nothing more American than people willingly paying double for something they can't afford in the first place.
Redlining is an issue. In that clip, you saw of members from a banking society basically plotting against African Americans moving into white urban communities. And this redlining has been a practice since the 1900s. While this may be a fictionalized drama, it is a true reenactment of what happened in many banks across the country. And so that is the reason why unified power is very important. This problem can be seen nationally. If you look at this graph, you can see that Dayton renters was 65% and homeowners 35%. That's the current demographic. However, if you look at the national, you see that home ownership is generally 65%, so it's flopped. Dayton has a serious disparity when it comes to home ownership amongst its Black residents, and we want to do something about it. We want to close the gap. There's an issue. There's a shortage. We're talking about 7 million rental homes. We need affordability, and the solution is unified power. We believe that our revenue model is sustainable. We have a community land trust that we want to partner with a real estate investment cooperative. A community land trust is a nonprofit entity. What it allows is for people to come together in a place-based community for permanent affordability. So we will have housing and commercial opportunities where we can take and share in the equity with the community members that are a part of the trust. In our real estate investment cooperative model, we'll share in the interest investment with other community members who will work collectively with us to ensure that we can make a collective impact. Two big important facts I want you all to be aware of. A whopping 70% of all CLT members end up using their earned equity to actually go on and buy market rate houses. And in Yellow Springs, a CLT has proven that this model works. They managed to survive the housing crisis with 0 foreclosures. Why now? Well, we're sitting in Gem City Market, which is proof positive that when the community comes together and makes a change, it has a great impact. And what we don't want to see is West Dayton gentrified, because now we've installed a fourth pillar of a community. Every community needs a bank, a hospital, a school, and a grocery store. So we want to make sure that community control of land is one of our priorities. And here's some of the work we've been doing. We have been hosting general assemblies for the last 2 years, hosting over 200 residents and listening to their voices. We've currently raised almost $500,000 to fund the development of our first major project on Salem Avenue. We've also garnered powerful letters of support from over 20 organizations that are grassroots and mission aligned. We have a strong board. As you see Ebony here, we also have 4 additional members in addition to myself that are actively engaged in bringing this work to fruition. And as we grow our philanthropic gifts and membership equity, we can establish multiple infill projects to reduce blight across the city, in addition to our starter project next door with our Salem Avenue efforts. Here's the need. Membership, membership, membership. We will use the funds from this incubator to develop a website that will help for us to get the word out about unified power. And if you would like to get in touch, here is the information. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Kenya.
Thank you, Taylor.
And now we'll have the judges ask a few questions.
Can you talk a little bit more about what you want to do with the website? What happens with your organization as the membership grows? Is it just getting the word out, or what do you need from the membership?
Yes, so that's a good question, Eric. What we hope to do with our website is to be able to create a streamless opportunity for community members to get engaged. We currently have grown about $1,000 in equity in our bank account, but we believe that we can really multiply that if we have a seamless way for members to get engaged in the community. So we hope for the website to be a portal to be able to take in philanthropic gifts. We have the resource generation that's starting a chapter in Ohio. They pledged $60,000 to us. So this will give us a portal to be able to garner those philanthropic gifts, as well as build our membership and keep the public abreast of our upcoming events. Thank you. Good to see you in person.
As far as for the housing, how will you recruit people? How will people be able to live in your housing?
So it's very important that we are working with the people that are most hard hit by economic hardship, especially with COVID-19 and the tornadoes that hit our city. So we're really engaged in some of the low income housing, the soda baths we've gardened there for the last 3 years. And also in Hilltop, we've established some block peace captains. And those individuals are really biting at the bit to have an opportunity to be able to live in regular quality housing. Thank you, Robbie.
Thanks, Kenya.
Oh, this-
Thank you, Kenya. I think that you did a great job.
Thank you,
What
Ken.
I would love to know more about, oh, I do, okay. What I would love to learn more about is, how do you plan? So you talked a little bit about how you plan to get the community involved by going out, listening sessions, which you've been doing. So for those people who may not fully understand the model, cooperatives, and the benefit, the return on it, how do you plan to kind of put it in layman's terms to meet people where they are so that they can understand the benefit of something like Unified Power?
Right, so really cooperatives are not a new notion. We have been doing susu since back in Africa before colonization. So really it's just a matter of talking to people, using books like Collective Courage by Jessica Nimhart to talk about a lot of the co-ops that have existed in this country to really help galvanize people. There's been a lot of work by the systems that be to disrupt those cooperatives, but we have shown in the past the strength of cooperatives, and we're going to continue. We just did a visioning session where we had our conceptual designs looked at over 150 community members. So different opportunities like that, seizing them to really express to people on a one-on-one basis what the cooperative is and how it can benefit us. Thank you. Thank you, Keith.
All right, we want to give them another round of applause. Very powerful. And just another reminder, you can contribute, become a member, and also cast your votes tonight at 7 o'clock until October 31st at 11:55 p.m. Next up, we have Clifton Crafthouse. Clifton Crafthouse is a small multi-stakeholder cooperative owned by the workers, producers, and resident artists. The first floor is commercial space that provides a pop-up style kitchen from their local chefs and brewers to collectively sell their goods. The upper floors provide affordable apartments and gallery space to local artists. Let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you so much. I'm Piper Fernway, here to talk to you about the Clifton Crafthouse Co-op. So Clifton, teeny tiny town of 147, 3 miles from Yellow Springs. But you might have been there, heard of us because of the Clifton Gorge or the famous Clifton Mill with their light display. So the problem is we have all of these underutilized historic buildings. This picture here is the co-op. Right behind it is the schoolhouse. Right across the street, it's the Opera House. So all of these buildings, with the loss of this cornerstone community space, have fallen into disrepair. Simultaneously, there's identified community needs of spaces and affordable housings that are causing our communities to lose their artists, their small business owners, the soul of our community. Simultaneously, visitors to our community come here for all the great diversionary activities, but there's nowhere to stay and eat and drink past 4 p.m. Also, for a community so rich in the arts, there's not places to experience those. So our solution is this mixed use development, revitalizing this cornerstone building into a community space that it always was, in partnerships with these 7 nonprofits who identified these needs. So phase 1 is a tap room and community space that focuses on sustainable leadership, leveraging the cooperative model to return this building to the community gathering space it always was, with space upstairs built with the resources that designed for classes, workshops, and events. Phase 2 is affordable artist housing based on a feasibility study done by Wright State students in 2013. We would have residencies for specific disciplines, pair residents with mentors, services, and the spaces they need to turn their passion into a profession. Phase 3 is a shared commercial kitchen space, again, based on an identified need by community partners. Our food entrepreneurs need access to a commercially licensed kitchen, more space, better equipment, but having that space in the context of a tap room allows for businesses to do pop-up restaurants and test out their concept. So our solution and our vision is crafted to really meet the needs of our community so that we can support our community's resilience and overall vitality through revitalizing this one building to meet all these needs. Our entire project is built on social impact. Our tagline is crafting community. So we're looking to leverage the cooperative model to revitalize this community space and design it for inclusion and accessibility. It's about an economic opportunity, from the affordable housing to all the spaces for small business owners to rent, and environmental sustainability, from local sourcing to our passive house design to really being a leader and a model for sustainability for our small rural community, like a pellet stove that runs off of agricultural waste. So our market approach is based on the principle of feed 2 birds with 1 hand, or here feed many birds with 1 hand. So we're doing a grassroots style launch to help our partners spread the word. On top of that, we've rolled out these original crafters incentives, so the people that join at the start can give more and benefit from that, and a help us grow campaign so we can incentivize people to crowdfund with us. Our revenue model is based on the tap room, but with the successful tap room maybe only being open Thursday through Sunday, 2 to 8 p.m., our goal is that through using the space for pop-ups, through activities in the community space, that our business members would be able to have activities in this space and fill out the schedule 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Our current status is we moved very fast. We've already launched for membership. So we only got our first board member back in March, but we launched earlier this month. So our website is live, all our social media is live, so please check us out. Future milestones are continuing with some larger community launch parties and press coverage in November. We're updating the Wright State study on the affordable artist housing as we move this project into implementation. And we hope to reach 1,000 members by the end of the year and be able to fund at least phase 1 to open sometime next year. So the ask, first and foremost, help us spread the word, both to connect us to potential members, check out the Help Us Grow campaign. We want to reward you for helping us reach more people, but also because we think we have something really special here, and we want to be a model for other communities on revitalizing the community by meeting community needs and building community wealth. We need help with partnership support. We'd love help strategizing around funding. Technical assistance. This is a robust project, so we need help with our website and making sure that as we grow, so can our technological assets. If we were to win the funding, we would throw some more membership drive events, specifically by partnering with underrepresented groups to get feedback of if our design is meeting their needs. That's all I've got. Thank you so much.
That you've done already. When it comes to dollars and cents, how are they going so far? What's your goal and kind of where are you at right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So has a price tag of around $600,000. Phase 2 and 3 are $200,000 each. So overall, we're $1 million to bring this entire vision to life. So it's going well so far. We've just started. We rolled out these benefits to hopefully get people to give a little bit more, but base membership price is $250. We'll be rolling out a subsidized lower cost membership price as well. And yeah, we have tiers of membership benefits with exciting things like if you give $1,000, you get your name on a table at the co-op. The Help Us Grow campaign, to the 10 people who get us the most members or funding by the end of the year, we actually will pair you with a local artist. And we have these tables drying in my living room of slices of a tree that had to be taken down from the property, making those into a table that would live at the co-op with your design on it. So yeah, lots of exciting ways to get involved.
Thanks, Piper. The question I had is around your reach from a marketing perspective, being in a small community like that. How do you plan on, or what are your plans to attract people to come in and take advantage of the space that you're trying to get opened up here?
Yeah, great question. So there's already a ton of people and traffic in Clifton because of our different attractions, but also how close we are to Yellow Springs. So already that community, if you come on the weekend, there's parking spots, all of them are filled because of the gorge, because of the mill. So yeah, there's a big group of people that are already coming, but then also based on our project and meeting these different community needs, we're really relying on our member businesses who will be the ones throwing a pop-up restaurant, having a soap making class upstairs, to have them reach out to their communities to come to the co-op and support them.
I heard you mention about the study that they're doing at Wright State. What about, have you talked to local artists? What have you gotten from just word of mouth from local artists from your area? About the need for housing. What is the local artist? Have you surveyed local artists yourselves to see if there's an interest or if there's, it's a true need? Or
that was all part of it was a preliminary feasibility study on an affordable artist in the workspace done by Wright State MPA students in partnership with Home. So our not only affordable artist housing, but our community space was heavily designed on what that study found, because they needed space for networking, space to hold classes. So that's why one of the design attributes of our community space is, with all of the bathrooms being gender neutral bathrooms, we have one big 6-foot utility sink outside for cleanup after workshops and classes, but that was going to be identified needs. So that's the study that we're looking to update since it was done in 2013. It did include focus groups, surveys of local artists. And we actually designed the affordable artist housing to meet the most needs based on those surveys. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Piper. I think I was surprised at the 147 population. That was a lot for me. All right, Hatch. Next, we have Hatch Architects Web Design Center. Through K-12 workshops, they promote careers, architect, and design in Dayton. Welcome. I just want to remind you all that you can vote up until October 31st at 11:55 p.m. And also thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate you just taking the time to watch, these entrepreneurs share their story.
All right, good evening. So by a show of hands, when you were a kid, did any of you like to draw or sketch?
When you were a kid, did any of you play with Legos or blocks? So when you were a kid, did you know an architect? And if you did it look like us? Hi, my name is Veronica Poche, and I'm an architect. When I was little, I loved to draw, and I loved science and math. I didn't know an architect. I was pure luck that I became an architect. Last year in high school, someone said architecture, so I hired and I became, I went to Virginia Tech and I found my passion, which is architecture.
And hi, I'm Alex Bowler. I'm also an architect. I actually grew up in Northwest Dayton, just a little farther up Salem Avenue from here, and went to Dayton Public Schools. And I was a fan of cutting out graph paper and rearranging the furniture in my bedroom. I liked math and art. People told me maybe you should be an architect, but I did not know any architects. I didn't know really what an architect did. So it took me a little bit of a longer route than usual to get here. So I've now seen how hard it is and experienced how hard it is for many of us to learn about architecture and better understand our profession. Which, as a result, we have started a nonprofit called Hatch Architects Design Center. We are a 501c3 that aims to get kids interested in architecture, particularly focused on the city of Dayton. And basically, we're getting them interested and providing internship through us, our presence, because that's something that we didn't get to have when we were younger.
Our mission is to enhance the community by empowering students with design skills and knowledge while simultaneously improving our built environment.
So how do we do this? Well, we provide workshops through to students, and we actually ran our first set of workshops this past summer, and we ran 4 different types of workshops. We ran one of each of the 3 that's listed here. We've covered ages 3 up to 18-year-olds. We also had some high school students that worked with us as volunteers who were interested in architecture. We believe we worked with almost 100 students in that time. And basically, so we did a lot of like drawing, sketching, building. These are all examples of some of the things we did in the program. And we would like to even grow that and expand and have students design and then build something that will physically stay in their communities they can use. So that could be something like seating, birdhouses, free libraries, or maybe some design ideas for our many vacant lots that we have in the city.
This is our Hatch team today. This is our board members. So we are actually a very diverse group. There are 5 architects, a filmmaker, a couple of educators, and also a Dayton Public Schools board member.
So we talked a little bit about our personal whys, but there are big picture whys as well. Only 2% of registered architects are African American and less than 1% are Latinx.
Also, women are underrepresented in our profession. There's only 22% of licensed architects are women, and less than 5% are women of color.
So in our opinions, architecture also provides an interesting way to do some different educational things, including creative thinking, problem-solving skills, and it's something that we all relate to because we all experience the built environment on a daily basis.
So the field of architecture encompasses all the aspects of STEM, and architects design spaces in which we live, work, and play. When we, as Alex said, we experience them. And at our workshops, what kids learn is they learn architecture, but at the same time, they also get exposed to all of the different professions that make the building industry. These are the ones, the civil engineering, landscape architecture, physical design, construction, which is, you know, good thing. Our desired outcomes is we want to increase the diversity in our profession. We want to be able to see people, more women and more women of color become architects. We also want to be able to have the kids explore architecture and also be able to enhance the community by whatever project they do in our workshops.
And that image is actually an example of students who designed this seating and then built it and then enjoyed it. So how can you help us hatch future architects and help us grow? So donate, volunteer. If you're an organization that runs programming, you can be a host for us. And then tonight, of course, you can vote. So we would plan to use if we were to win a prize tonight, we would use it for a program that we're working with the Dakota Center. They're interested in running a 10-week session in the spring. And they have a site that they would like to design and build a playground on. So we would work with them on the design for that.
And the more volunteers and partners we have, the more workshops we can offer. So if you want to learn about us, go to #Dayton.com. Or
Thank you very much.
questions?
What has your work been with schools, the partnerships that you've created with different schools?
So we haven't done anything with schools specifically other than some focus groups looking at some potential grants. We've worked with an after-school program, On Purpose Academy. We worked with Sunlight Village. We worked with the City of Dayton summer recreation camps. And the Dayton International School, their Spanish camp. So we've also talked to some after-school programs that run at the school. So that seems like our closest in right now. But that is something that we're looking into.
Hi, thank you. How are you funding these programs currently that you're taking on?
So as our summer was sort of our pilot program, a couple of them had funding and were able to pay us for the workshops. We've applied for some grants. We're not yet successful, but we're still waiting on some. So there's many after school and summer camps that don't have funding. So we've done some like joint applications for grants with them. And then we're also working with Sinclair on a much larger grant that would also include some professional development opportunities for teachers to also like spread the word even more, basically, since we're only so many people. And we've had lots of volunteers join us, a lot of architects, teenagers who are interested in architecture through many of our programs. So.
To continue on that question, so can you identify or clarify who the customer is for you guys? Who actually pays you for?
Right.
I
So
mean, like grant funded, but also pitching to.
it would, at the moment, it's primarily the organization. So
Okay.
right now we're going to their organization. So say it's a summer camp or an after school program, and we're providing programming for them for a week or for 10 weeks, once a week, something like that.
Okay. On top of that, how much does it actually cost to do a program?
Right. So we've calculated at this point, it's about $100 per contact hour. So that would include the planning ahead of time and really for one staff person and the rest volunteers. But going forward, we'd like to have some more paid interns, maybe through Sinclair or YouthWorks, and eventually 2 full-time staff and a little bit more capacity.
So 100 per student is what you're saying?
Per session of contact hour. So, and those are never more than 20 students.
So yeah, usually it depends on the age of the program. It's how many people we have participate. So if smaller kids might need more volunteers, while high schoolers would probably would only need 2 or 3 to do the program.
Okay. And it's still early stages, so yeah, it will likely build from there.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Hatch Architects Design Center. I like the question of who do you know that's an architect? I think that is very important. Next up, we have our last pitch, our last business to pitch. The next business is West Dayton Strong. West Dayton Strong is a nonprofit based in Dayton, Ohio, that provides wrap-around support services for cohorts or families. They are developing a youth-run candle-making social enterprise. Let's give them a round of applause.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. I am Tiffany Brown, and this is Miss Jessica Hickland, and our partner Todd Bond could not be here with us this evening. We are here representing West Dayton Strong, which is actually an initiative. We have a fiscal sponsor. We have not established as a nonprofit, but we have been moving in West Dayton for the past 5 years, working in partnership with Greater Dayton Premier Management, specifically in the DeSoto Bass housing development. And our mission is to promote education, success and education and life for youth and families living in West Dayton, and specifically DeSoto Bass, where we've been building relationships for the last 5 years, and also to strengthen youth, adult, community relationships. And the mother of West Dayton Strong is here, Mama Donna. She is in the back. This was her idea. So thank you, Mama Donna. So the project that we are pitching is Voices to Light. It is a youth social enterprise involving candle making.
So what's the problem? A lot of us are stressed, anxiety, we're frustrated, and sometimes we don't know how to make it through life. A lot of us have candles at home, but we are offering a candle, Voices to Light, that focuses on youth, their families, and the community. It's to promote healing through the design of the candle making process. Existing businesses either don't have a candle making process included, and they definitely don't include the youth. And they definitely do not include the youth who are hurting and traumatized. This is why we have Voices to Light. The solution: employing youth will help gain leadership skills, access a creative outlet, and release anxiety. Not only that, these candles will have messages and notes on it from people who have touched their lives, touched our lives. So not only will you be relaxed therapeutically through the smell of the candle, the message will enlighten you and lift you up. Young people will participate and help identifying features to include a quote that exemplifies leadership. One candle we have planned is to honor Alicia Brown, a parent of one of our supporting families who passed away from cancer. Causes will help us promote what we need for our candles. The solution: we will provide workshops for you to create all natural, plant-based therapeutic candles that will be sold to members to our community and local businesses. Young people will be provided with access to all aspects of the candle making process and also be included on the business making side of things. Profit from the candles will be used to provide youth with stipends, help support business growth, and some will be used in the memory of the featured family members like we mentioned from our dear Alicia, in alignment with our West Dayton Strong values. The social impact is that our youth will have decreased levels of stress, anxiety among the community and our members. A profitable product line of therapeutic candles that's beneficial to the community that focuses on social impacts and phases of development. Success will be measured by the number of youth we have to participate and help producing and making the tools for the youth outcome for the candles. Our market approach.
So our market approach. So we will use digital and social media marketing to create content that will allow us to share our story and journey and align with individuals, organizations, and businesses that share similar values and a mission. We'll also create webinars and educational resources for download that will guide creation of an email list that will allow for us to create email marketing campaigns to drive traffic to our website for learning about our enterprise and about upcoming fundraising drives, events, or opportunities. We will also host events for youth and families in our target market, which is women with families who buy 90% of candles. So this is just a general view of a sales process. I'll be honest, we are still working this out, but we do understand that it involves prospecting, initiating contact, identifying needs, presenting our offer, managing objections, and closing the sale. We have to create awareness. We have to work within our friend and family network. We have to get people to know who we are. We have to identify those leads and find out if they are a lead, have an opportunity to sell to them so they can become a customer. And so in this, we are supporting youth to develop leadership skills, build and strengthen relationships, help decrease trauma. We'll develop clear, concise messaging. We'll leverage the positive community impacts, and we will sell online and offline through websites, subscription, and we also might offer youth memberships in the social enterprise. Thank you. Oh, questions. I thought we were done. Oops. Any questions? Oh, and I just wanted to clarify. The candles will be created in memory of leaders locally, but also our local sheroes and heroes. It could be family members, friends. And our parent supporter, Alicia Brown, was actually killed in a hit and run car accident in 2018. So I did just want to honor her legacy in that way.
Can you talk a little bit more about, so I like the processes of selling, but can you talk more about maybe your target audience, or who do you think you'll be selling to, especially in the beginning?
Yeah, so I honestly think it will be, again, women primarily. We have some relationships developed with several organizations and nonprofits locally, churches, some schools. We have partnerships and people on our team who are teachers. And so we know that teachers are under a lot of stress right now. So that will honestly be probably one of our primary targets is teachers, but also the parents of the youth that are involved in the enterprise. So I would say that's probably where we're starting.
It's such a unique idea. So I'm just so curious, what inspired you to do this?
Well, our inspiration came from a few different areas. First, our inspiration to have the voices of the people come from just our connection with the community and working with the youth. We wanted them to have a voice in some type of way of the community. Secondly, one of our partners, Todd, has a wife in the candle making business, and we thought it would be a great idea to combine the idea of candle making and also media outreach. So we wanted to be able to interview and connect with families and people in the community and take a small message from that and reflect it in the candle with a small message, and still be able to, for the scent to be therapeutic and calming at the same time.
Do you have a current location where you're going to make these, or can you like go to different organizations to make it? Is it something that's portable, where you can go to other places and other groups of kids, or will you have a space where people can come to you?
Thank you. So we do have a partnership with Westside Makerspace. And so we are working with them to identify spaces that we can hold workshops. Also, Gem City Market is one of our supporters and partners. So we hope to be able to hold some here. And also with Greater Dayton Premier Management, we've been using some space on the ground there.
Those your candles.
But they are side by side to represent that we're walking with the youth to help them shine their light and others in the community. Thank you. We're working on prototyping.
Thank you for the presentation. How much does a candle sell for? Did you mention this?
We did.
Okay.
So it costs about $1.50 to $2 to make. And so we're thinking about setting the price point probably between $7 and $10, because we want to be able to support youth with stipends. We also want to be able to support those leaders who are featured on the candles. However, their friends and family wants us to do that, whether that's an organization or specifically for Miss Alicia, maybe to support her babies.
And what would be the sizes of the candles? Will they come in various sizes, or do you have a standard size?
I think for ease and just to kind of make the selling process easier for us and the consumer, we'll probably just have one size, either 4 ounces or 8 ounces to start out.
And I do love the idea of having candles and having students or youth be a part of the candle making process to teach them business skills and things like that, employment. There is a project down in St. Louis called Sweet Potato Project that's very similar, that they have a model that you can maybe look at. I love that you're using candles for trauma. I would have loved to hear more about the effects of trauma on inner city youth, and to really, so I just maybe add a comment that going forward when you guys are pitching, really kind of drive that home, because I do think that it is a great point of being able to use therapeutic methods like candles to address trauma and stress that come from just simply being in inner city and urban cores where there is crime and violence and things like that. So I think a part of the story is like kind of driving that home a little bit more, because there is a lot there, but I love the concept.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
What will the stipends, what will they be used for? What do you anticipate?
One more time.
The kids, how will they use those?
How will the youth use them?
Yes.
That's a very good question.
Well, the families have a lot of various different needs, and we're not only working with the youth, we're working with their families as well. So we would want to make sure that the stipends are not only used as a reward for the youth, but also a benefit for the families as well. So hopefully, ideally, a little bit, maybe a school uniform, an outfit here, maybe hair and nails there, maybe some bill contribution or some way to help mom, groceries there. It's something that we need to work out, but we definitely want to make sure that it's affecting the family in a positive way, and that the funds are being used to support the children, know that they are working, and the parents know that they are all benefiting the family as well.
Thank you. Thank you guys so much. Now we can roll away.
Thank you so much to West Dayton Strong. Just a reminder, all of these business owners have spent 7 months in this incubator, really cultivating their business model, their financial model, and their organizational structure. So actually, that concludes our fantastic pitches. If you register for the event, you have now received an email with the link to vote. So please vote on the winner of the community prize. And if you missed tonight, voting will remain open again until October 31st at 11:55 p.m. And a recording of tonight's pitches will be posted on Co-op Dayton's website. You can visit the website at www.coopdayton.org/pitch2021 on Monday. Again, I'm gonna say it again, www.coopdayton.org/pitch2021. And you can visit the website on October 25th. We encourage you to share and encourage others to watch the recording and vote by October 31st. And we'll announce the winners of all the prizes on November 5th. So thank you guys, really, thank you for your time and just really watching this and watching them pitch. And we can't wait to see you again. Bye.